This will be my first vlog or video documenting. Well, not documenting, because if I really wanted to do that, I would have started earlier. But that aside, this is a video. Not compiling either, but it's a video with me talking about my health issues, my medical trauma, because right now it is medical trauma. It's still ongoing and it's still hard to do anything. If you know me personally and know what I'm going through, then you know how rough it's been. But for the World Wide Web, who could maybe help me out, like a little bit, like a little smidge, that'd be great. Probably not, but who knows, maybe. So, for the past 3, I think, going on 4 now, but I'm not counting the fourthness for the first 3 because it was different. Towards the end of the 3rd year of it going on and into the 4th, or starting of the 4th, I don't know. I don't care to keep track of when this first started, because when it first started, it wasn't an issue. I was having vertigo. And if you don't know what vertigo is when you get dizzy, either from moving your head too quick, or in my case, it just happened. But when this all started, it was when I moved a little too fast, and I was like, oh, whoa. But then, it kept happening every time I would move a little too quick, and I was like, okay, whoa. But you know what? Fine. I have vertigo. I have extreme vertigo because the dizziness kicks my ass. It was happening more frequently, but fine, whatever. It wasn't stopping me from doing things. It wasn't completely debilitating. And then as the years went on, it steadily increased to not being able to work at all. Barely being able to work, even. It slowly progressed into me not being able to do things that I could do before. And it got to the point where I had to quit a job in summer of 2024, because around spring, I believe, it was becoming mostly unmanageable, but I could handle it. It's okay, I'd have to sit down more, I'd have to take things slow, I'd have to be more careful than I had to be before. Fine, whatever, manageable, I can do that. If you're wondering why my eyes went woo, it's because it's happening right now. Hi, hello, I'm Dizzy. Nice to meet ya. Basically, the job I had to leave was a dishwashing job. And, I'm gonna be honest. I've worked harder jobs than that. It was pretty cushy where I was working. It was pretty great. I worked only a few days a week, which helped with what was going on. And I'm living with people like my grandparents right now. So I didn't need to be fully, income on my own type of vibe. And if I was, then if I was, I would have tried my hardest to make it work, but if I did that, I feel like I would have quit earlier. But, along with my dizziness increasing in severity, I have also gotten, used to falling over time. And, it's not that bad. I've kind of trained myself on how to land when I fall. And, usually I have to, like, before I would be like, I'd be walking or something and then I'd have to stop. And then I'd be like, oh, maybe try to sit down, but then I fall. Or, like, I don't sit down because I'm stupid. And I'm like, movement will make me fall. So if I stand still, I won't fall. And then I'll fall. Luckily, I haven't had any injuries aside from maybe hurting my wrist a little bit when landing on hard surfaces. But for the most part, that's it. And well, the falling increased and the falling also happened at work. And instead of it just being like, whoa, woo, gotta take a minute, it went from do 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 boom. Like I would just fall. And that like extreme unbalance or whatever it was got real bad to the point where I was almost falling every day at work. And if I didn't take it easy, I would continue to fall. One day I ended up, this was after I had to quit, but one day I ended up falling 10 times in a row within the span of an hour. I was just trying to walk from the kitchen to my bedroom, the room I'm in right now. And I had a walker with me, which is the wildest part. I had a mobility aid with me, which I've been managing to be dizzy and unstable and just having a horrific time with those aids. First it was a cane, and I would use it occasionally when this all first happened, and then I'd have to use it a little more regularly, which was fine. It was whatever. At work I had to start showing up with my cane, but whatever, it was fine. It was manageable. And then I would have to use my cane while working, which is not the best way of grabbing dishes. Let me tell you, not the best way to go about cleaning dishes, because the floor gets wet, and my cane doesn't have like a thing to make it suction in the ground or whatever. Maybe I should have invested in one of those, but I don't know. So basically all of this has culminated into everything just getting worse to the point where I can barely do things at home. Like sometimes on a bad day, which the bad days are becoming more normal, so you could call it a normal day now, is that I have trouble walking around my house. Now, I know this house pretty well. I grew up in this house pretty much, and I could walk backwards all around this house if I wanted to. I shouldn't now because I'd probably die. But before all this, I could totally do that. No problem. But now, if I think I'm okay enough to maybe walk to the kitchen, and the kitchen is not that far from my room. Sometimes I'll start walking and I'll be like, I'm fine. And then I continue and I'm like, oh God. And then it's gotten to the point where I have to stick my arms out all tight rope walker vibe and have my arms out and just kind of like try to steady myself that way. And it does kind of work. I'm gonna be honest, after having done that several times now, that does work. I can see why they do that. Yeah, it's great having this go on. And then in, what was it, August? Yeah, it was August of this year. It's October now. In August of this year, we finally found out what maybe the cause was, because before it was like, oh, it's just vertigo, like really bad vertigo, but vertigo. And so finally, after years of trying and being unsuccessful, well, not years, maybe like a year or two. But anyway, after finally getting into an ENT appointment, I had the ENT appointment, then I had a balance testing appointment. Then I got the results back from that balance testing appointment. And the results were, I don't have any ear problems, because that's where the vertigo comes from. It comes from your ears and like the ear crystals moving around or whatever. I didn't have that. Instead, what it seems like, this isn't 100%, but this is the closest thing I have to an answer, so I'm going with it, is the brainstem. My brainstem is fucked up, essentially. And I already have issues with my brain normally before all of this. So, hearing that my brain is broken and busted even more is not, fun to hear. But it's like, of course it's my brain. My brain's already ruined. Like, what else can we add on top of it? So, yeah, my brainstem, the little guy back here, is causing me my issue. And we know it's the brainstem and not the brain, because I've had an MRI before when this wasn't as serious, and then when it was serious and I had to go to the emergency room. Same with the CT scan. And my brain was clear. My brain was fine. In the earlier testing and in the now testing, fine. Because when I was like, I'll have a fucking answer, I'll go to Google, and yeah, you shouldn't Google symptoms and be like, oh, I'm dying now. Like when you don't have an answer, like you've been to doctors, you've been to the doctor with the same problem, being like, I don't know what to do, it's getting worse. You're gonna turn to Google and be like, what causes blah blah blah? And at first, I thought I might have found an answer. It was a specific type of tumor. It's a little tumor, and it grows in the brain, but it rests on the nerve, like from where your ears and the balance connect to the brain. It rests on that. So I was like, okay, it's a tumor. They grow slowly. So maybe it wasn't big enough to show up on the MRI or the CT. So I was like, okay, fine. If I get another one of those, it might show up. No, my brain is fine. My brain is fine. In fact, before the first MRI I had, they noted that there might have been something, but it wasn't of any concern. It didn't seem like it would cause any harm, whatever. Apparently it didn't, because I don't have that anymore. So I don't know if it was like something. Maybe my brain has an odd shape. I don't know. But my brain is fine. So the only cause, my brain and my ears are fine. So the only cause of this is the brainstem. And like, what? Like, what am I supposed to do with that? I looked into seeing if brainstems can have MRIs or like x-rays done, and they can, but because of how the brainstem is, where it is, and how small it is, it's hard. It's surrounded by all your flesh and muscle and all that, and then it's just like this EB thing connected to this big old thing. It's hard to see, I guess. We haven't advanced medically enough to be able to see the whole brainstem. Whatever, fine, whatever. Don't care. I mean, I care a lot, but whatever. So, now here I am, coming to the internet to, I guess, let this out. I don't know. Because I genuinely don't know. Like, I don't know if I'm going to have to go in for a surgery. I don't know if this is like something that can be cured. If it can, that'd be great. I'd love to go back to working a normal job, to be able to do the things I used to do. I used to be able to go outside and walk. Now I can. It's just a bit harder, and I have to use a cane or a walker as I do that. Whenever I go anywhere, I bring the walker now because it's gotten to that point. But before it was just the cane, and the cane's more compact. It's more portable. A walker, while it can be portable, is harder to use because it's a walker. It's big. It's bulky. You need to fold it up, put it in the vehicle you are using, which, side note, I do not drive. Don't worry about that. I do not drive. My doctor told me not to drive. And no. If I can barely walk around my own house, I'm not fucking driving. But, like, I don't know. I lost my train of thought, but, like, I don't know. And, like, not to get too morbid or anything, but, like, this could be bad. This could be fatal. I could be, like, slowly dying and not, like, I don't know. Like, maybe not. Maybe that's an exaggeration, but, like, it is dealing with the brain. Any issue with the brain, could lead to, death, brain damage, or something. Like, I could end up being paralyzed, maybe. I don't know. I don't know. I'm not a doctor. I don't do med school, so I don't know. But, like, what if it gets to the point where I have to be, like, in a wheelchair most of the time? It's like, currently I can stand and I can move. If it's really bad, I can only move for short bursts at a time. Like, I can stand, I can move, but if it continues to get worse, because, like, it's a steady incline for me. It'll go up, and then I'll stagnate a little, and then I'll get used to it, and then it goes up again. And, like, maybe there's a psychological element. I don't know. It's so frustrating. Because this issue was, like, so normal before, and now it's just blown out of proportion. Like, it's affecting my life more than it should. Like, if I didn't find out it had something to do with the brainstem, most likely, then I would just go on thinking this was some crazy, batshit, insane type of vertigo. Like, vertigo can be bad, but, like, for it to be this bad and this debilitating, like, I can barely fucking do the dishes at home. And all I have to do is, here's the sink, here's the dishwasher, I load the dishes into the dishwasher. See, and that's usually the easy part. I can bring a chair and then sit at the sink and then load them into the dishwasher. If it's bad. But then it comes to, putting the clean dishes up, and the cabinets are a little bit everywhere in the kitchen, and depending on what was put in the dishwasher, I'll have to bend down, I'll have to reach up, I'll have to go from one end of the kitchen to the other. And listen, that doesn't sound like a lot. Our kitchen's not that big. But if you're going through what I'm going through, it is a lot. If you take one step, even sometimes, it is like, whoa, that was too much. I have to sit down. Like, the room is spinning, I'm spinning, my brain is lagging behind and slowly catching up to my body and telling me, oh God, like, I don't know. Because, like, moving my head around and moving around doesn't, like, aggravate it for me, really. Like, if it's really bad and I, like, move my head, like, then yeah, it'll maybe make it a little worse. But, like, usually if I'm, like, doing this or this, I'm fine. I do the, God, what was it called? The Epley move or whatever. I was practicing that. I was trying that to see if that would help. It didn't fucking help. I've tried all the vertigo exercises. They don't help. I've been to physical therapy before and it didn't help. Like, I don't know. There's no format to this. There's no nothing to this. I'm just sick and tired, and I don't know. I don't know. I'm just, I'm just dealing with a lot right now in general in my life, aside from what I spent almost 30 minutes talking about. Well, almost is a stretch. Almost 25 minutes talking about. But, like, aside from all of that, if none of that was also happening, and this was the same, I still don't know what I'd do. Like, there are factors right now that could be like, oh, it's the stress of what's happening is adding on to this. But also, this is causing me stress. So, it could be either or, really. Like it doesn't take a genius to figure out, like, hey, the thing I'm going through right now is stressing me out a bit, Like, I went to see a neurologist in September, and maybe I'll talk about that in a different video, but they asked about, like, my depression and all that, because they can see my medical history, and I'm major depressive disorder. Gang, comment below if you got it too. But there's that, and he was like, oh, you are depressed. Is your depression getting worse because you can't do things? And I was like, yeah. Like, of course it's worse. I can barely go outside and enjoy the sun. Like, of course it's worse. Like, fucking, ugh. There's a lot, and I am not a medical professional. No one in my family is, I don't think. Maybe they are, and I'm just an idiot and didn't pay attention. No, I am an idiot and don't pay attention. There is one. I am stupid, see? But, like, if there's anything that could be causing this. Like, if let me know. Because I've been to Google, I've been to the doctor, I've been looking at all the things I could possibly look at to give me an idea about what's going on, and I'm still not sure. So that's it for this. I just wanted to get this off my chest and I guess get it documented on the internet. I don't know. Like, fucking life, man, is a bitch. Like, my brain was already broken and busted, and here it is being even more broken and busted. You know those jokes about brain rot on the internet? Now I joke that I actually have brain rot. So when something stupid like Grunkle Funkle wins the Funkle Bunkle, and I sit there watching like a 15-minute compilation video of all that, yeah, this is perfect time for me to be like, brain rot. Because honestly, maybe. Who knows? I don't know. Alright. I guess signing off or whatever. Bye. Thanks for listening to me screaming in the void, probably. Peace, or later. I don't know.